All right, here we go, guys. And the one question I've been asked over and over in every video, regardless of whether it's a fishing video, a picking boats by the side of the road video, a boat review video, it doesn't matter. Where are you in connection or with respect to your Eastward boat build, your catamaran build? Those of you that follow the channel regularly know that back in 2021, I did a factory tour of Eastward boats down in Fort Pierce, Florida. And I was so impressed that I put a deposit down, a $5,000 deposit, and ordered a brand new 30-foot Eastward catamaran center console. My plans have since changed. Again, those of you that follow the channel, I gotta stop repeating that, but those of you that do follow the channel know that in addition to a full-time job, I've been chartering on weekends and vacations the last 5 years. This is my last year doing it. And really knowing that I wasn't going to continue doing it, I decided to downsize from the 30 Eastward to the 24 Eastward. And in May of this year, May of 23, my number was up. They were ready to pop the boat in the mold. And although I'm up in New York and can't be down there to share video of the progress, I figured this would be a good opportunity, a rainy, windy, cold day today, no fishing, to share pictures and explain the layout that I'm going with my 24 build. And again, I'm sure I'll get, skewered in the comments for the way I'm laying the boat out. The engine choice, what I'm paying for it, c'est la vie, I understand. That's what happens when you share information like this on the internet. But the beauty of working with a custom builder like Dave is he can outfit the boat any way you want, any type of configuration. A little more limited with the 24, certainly with the 30. He's built pilot houses, expresses, side consoles, dual consoles. He's built them a number of different ways. Let's just cut right to the pictures and I'll show you where I'm going with mine. And yeah, here we are. This is obviously not my boat. My boat is nowhere near ready to go like this one. But this is going to be the general configuration of my boat. It's going to be a very simple center console layout. It's coming with a magic tilt. I know, again, I'm going to get skewered for that. I used to own a magic tilt. I never had any problems with it. I know a lot of people call them tragic tilts. But a magic tilt trailer. Very simple center console layout, twin taco seats, the fold-up seats, and the power will be twin Merc 225 V6s. We'll get into that a little later, why I went that way. But this is it. It's very simple, and we'll show some more pictures, and I'll go over the configuration that I'm building the boat to. And I borrowed a lot from folks who have built 24s. I took what I liked from some, what I liked from others, and really building the boat the way I want it to be built. And having said that, here's just so you can see the size of the 24. Again, mine won't have Seaward on it, 2400, anything. It'll be very bare on the side, but it'll be that color. I know not the prettiest boat, but that young lady there, that gives you an idea of just how big that 24 is. And the specs on it are 23.5 feet long, 9-foot 3-inch beam, and that bracket is not included in that 23.5 feet. So when you factor in that 2-foot bracket, you're really buying a 25.5 to closer to a 26-foot boat, especially with that beam. And yeah, in May of this year, they started prepping it for me. Here we are showing the work being done. When it's in the mold, you see the fans drying out, all the glass that the folks over at Eastward Boats are laying, and sometime I believe in late May it was popped out of the mold, and here we are. Here's the floor. Dave uses Kusa for most of the transom, the floor, the really solid parts. This is, I believe, based on the video I did with him 2 years ago, that it is 1.5 inches Kusa. So it will be a very, very extremely strong structure, should do great from a, never having a soft spot perspective, right? It's going to be a very solid boat. And what we're going to focus on next, I believe, is the cap. And yeah, there's the cap. And for those of you that don't know, the cap is the part of the boat that sits on the top outside edges of the boat, if that makes sense. And if you look closely at this cap, and again, this is my cap that's going on my boat, you look in the back where the two workers are, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that raised area, and we are actually going with twin live wells. And this may be surprising for those of you that know me, because literally I've had my CV for 5 years. I've never used a live well, not one time. But because of the way I'm configuring the boat, I have decided that one live well will be there as a live well in case I ever need it. But the second live well will really act as a cooler for me. It's not going to ever be used to keep any type of fish alive. It's literally going to be used as a cooler. And there's a method to my madness. There's a reason I want to use that as a cooler, and it comes down to space. And hopefully as we progress through the video, that will make more sense. And we're going to jump to a close-up of what these twin corner live wells look like. Yep, and here they are. You can see really big live wells, and that center area between the live wells is actually a cutout. And what that allows you to do is to go through the center aft section of the boat to access your engines if you want to, run some fresh water through them at the end of the day. It's just a perfect way to get to the back of the boat. You'll see the ladder there too. I am not sure yet if I am going to add a ladder. I don't really expect that I will be doing a lot of swimming on the boat, but I guess emergency's sake, or if you do want to take the family out one day, not fishing, and you want to go for a swim, it's nice to have that ladder. I've not decided yet whether I am including that ladder or not, but that's what it looks like. You'll also see some rod holders on the aft side of the transom, on the back side of the two live wells. I am going with those. I'm getting 5 of those on each side. As long as we are talking about the back end of the boat, this is what I'm going with. Here's a picture of a mezzanine seat. So we're looking forward on the boat now. And given that I will have 2 taco seats in front of behind the helm area, I love boats that have mezzanine seats. And I know that this is a controversial thing. Some people don't like them, not comfortable. They eat up fishing room. But again, if you saw that other picture, the boat has a really, really beamy aft area behind the helm. I don't think it will cut into the fishing room too much. And this seat will have 2 purposes, or 3 purposes, the way I look at it. Number 1, it'll give 2 people a place to sit as we're driving to the fishing grounds. Number 2, it's also going to be a cooler, and this will be the food and beverage cooler. This is where we're going to store our waters, our sodas, our beer, our sandwiches. And number 3, it will be like a makeshift tackle station where, if you want to rig up, it's a nice convenient place where you can, set your tackle, tie your rigs. It'll be somewhere where you can lean and put your stuff on and get yourself ready for fishing. The reason that I wanted to go with a mezzanine seat is because of this. Now here, this again is my boat. This is out of the mold. And you'll see this, what I call a bump. This is the front side of the boat. This is forward, the most forward section of the boat. And all catamarans have this bump in the front. And when I did do the factory tour, the one thing that I found a little unsettling was, it's a little awkward walking up to the front of the boat and dealing with that bump in the middle section of the forward part of the boat. And what I saw that somebody had done with their 24 build is they actually used that area for storage. And here's a shot of that now. And you can see it really does take a lot of the bump out. And again, I will have multi-purposes for this. Number 1, before I get to that, you'll notice no forward seating. So I am not going to have any forward seating, not even a forward cooler. That'll maximize the fishing space in the front of the boat. And the fact that I will have that storage area, that will be the place where I store life jackets, where I store tackle, where I will store line, everything that I would normally store on a boat will be stored in those two areas. And you can see they act as a step. That more aft two boxes that you see, I can step on that, then take one more smaller step to the front of the boat in case I need to deploy the trolling motor. I am going to outfit the boat with a Minn Kota trolling motor. So it will help me in that regard. It will also create space. And because this is all Coosa, if I wanted to, I could also use that area as a fish box, but I am right now leaning towards using one of the live wells as a live well, which will probably never get used, and the other live well as a fish box. And again, I wanted this area up front for storage. That's the reason I'm building it this way. Again, maybe not for everyone, but this is the way I envision it working to best satisfy my fishing needs on this build. And then, I guess the last part of this quick video is how much does all this cost? So yeah, let's just break it down. There's the price of the boat laid out as a center console, $71,159. Some of the add-ons I did add: the T-top with the canvas, 6 rod holders, the helm seat with the aft-facing cooler seat, the Magic Tilt tandem axle trailer, the Mercury 225s, those were $49,000. All in, I am at $149,410. The way Dave does this, in case anyone is interested, is you put that $5,000 deposit. You see I put mine down on January 12, 2021. When your build slot becomes available, that's $36,102.50, and then progressively you are doing $36,102.50 when the hull is pulled from the mold, when the motors are ordered, and finally when the boat is ready for that final delivery. That is your last installment payment. So you've paid a little over 75% of the boat at that time, and when the boat is fully built and ready to be picked up, you make that last payment, you take the boat home with you. So $149,410 for anyone wondering what this build will cost. And again, obviously that does not include any electronics. I have decided, and this is not a knock on Dave, but I use Blue Jay Marine here in the North Fork of Long Island, Eastern Long Island. Jack is the best, and his work is insanely anal, and I mean that in a good way. He is meticulous about everything, and as long as I'm building what will hopefully be the last boat ever for me, I want the best of the best. So I'm going to have Jack do the transducer, the screens, the trolling motor, literally all the radar, all my electronics will be done by Jack. I will have to pay sales tax, and there will be some add-ons not factored in here yet. Those rod holders in the back, a custom windshield. I don't know what that's all going to cost, but I expect this might go up $5,000 to $10,000 before I pick up the boat from Dave. But I should be all in with the electronics, with the sales tax, with the few extra add-ons that I'm building at or around $200,000. And yes, I'm going to get skewered for that. But again, hopefully the last boat I built, or the last boat I ever buy, this will be my 8th boat. And I do have friends with bigger boats if I do want to go really far or go out on a crappier day. But the ride on catamarans is something that you have to experience to understand. I don't think there'll be many days that I could have gotten out on my 32 CV that I can't get out on this boat. The 225 Mercs, they're 30-inch legs. They're the one criticism of this hull was there was a lot of spray in the back of the boat from the motors. Motors would get wet. Dave did suggested these longer motors to help combat that. Since we ordered them, though, he has developed a lip by the transom, or by the, not the transom, by the bracket, by the motor bracket, that almost acts as a deflector. And in tests and videos that I've seen, it dramatically cuts down on the amount of spray in the back of the boat. So hopefully it'll be a mood issue. And I think the one thing that no one has ever complained about when owning a boat is having too much power. The efficiency will still be there if I, keep the speed down, but it'll be nice to have that extra power if and when I need it. The 24 ahead of mine in the assembly line is actually also getting outfitted with the same motors, They're closer to being done than I am. I should have performance numbers soon based on that boat. So we'll see how we do. I'm expecting a 50-something top end and a nice comfortable cruise in the low to mid 30s at 2+ miles a gallon, which with a standard, I believe it's about 250 usable gallons of fuel on this boat. You know, it will take me a long way and will not necessitate gas fill-ups like currently my 32 CV does, which the CV is a great boat, but at 1.415 miles per gallon, even with a 300-gallon tank and some of the long runs I do, it requires a lot of fuel fill-ups. This will help me avoid having to run every weekend to the gas station to fill up. So there you go. Feel free to ask any questions. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you like these videos, hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber and you like content like this, please consider subscribing.